Welcome back to the Ball Does Life podcast, your one-stop shop for weekly NBA content. My name is Amir with my co-host Brendan. So, Brendan, the Denver Nuggets, they keep winning somehow. We know that Jokic has been out for a while. They're winning without him on the floor. And that immediately raises a real question in my mind. Like, is this just a hot stretch that we're seeing? Or are we seeing something bigger about Denver's system, their coaching, their depth, like their ceiling now? Like we always knew they were going to be like a top 3, 4 team in the East, even with Joker, and they've been playing really good this year. They've been second at best. They're third right now in the West, and they're currently 31-15. They've won 7 out of their last 10, which I think is pretty damn impressive. So, how are they doing this in your opinion? Like, what's going right for them? Because this is huge. You thought they would
Yeah.
fall like in the standings while Joker was out, right? Because he's going to probably come back after All Star break. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah,
But
he's supposed to be reevaluated next week, according to reports. So I didn't anticipate after the All-Star break, and I think they were just hoping to stay afloat. Like a 500 record for them, I think would have been a huge win.
yeah,
So for them to basically be 9-5 now without Jokic is a huge win, and I think they've proven their depth is something they can really lean on. I think that was something they were looking to bolster in, heading into this offseason, or excuse me, last offseason. And they clearly did it. And they're getting it from a lot of different guys, whether it's Bruce Brown, Christian Brown. I think Peyton Watson's emergence this year has been incredible.
mm-hmm.
He's just showing you he can do it on both ends. I think he started off as more kind of a defensive energy guy, but he's averaging 23 points a game here in these last 14 without Jokic. So he's been making the most of his opportunities. And then I think Jalen Pickett has been huge for them. And then obviously Jamal Murray has just been carrying most of this workload while Joker's been out. But to get production that they've been getting out of guys like Pickett and Watson, I think just positions them really well for the playoffs now. Because we all knew they were a contender with Jokic healthy. And the fact they've been playing this well without him shows, I think, that they're a legitimate threat to OKC, and someone I think that needs to be taken seriously as a potential finals favorite, not even just someone that can compete with OKC, but I think in that matchup they could give the Thunder a ton of problems. So I would say their depth, their energy, and just their willingness to kind of step up here in the absence of their best player.
Yeah,
Lot
the
lot to
absence
lot to be excited about with the Nuggets.
the absence of Joker might be a blessing in disguise, kind of, especially if they are going to finish like well above 500 in the games that he's missed so far. He's probably going to miss at least a handful of more games, I would say, right? When's the All-Star game? It's like February. It's earlier this season, right? Or the trade deadline's actually happening before the All-Star break. When is the All-Star
Yeah.
break again? Exactly
So
in
the
February?
so the All-Star game is coming up February 15th. So
Oh, so he's going to miss
um
he's going to miss probably 10 more games at this point, I feel like.
yeah, I would imagine. Again, we'll
Maybe.
see next week when he's reevaluated. But I mean the Nuggets have kind of shown they can still withstand a lot of the production that they lose with Jokic out with the current roster they have. And
Which
I
is
think there's
insane because you're missing an MVP. You're not missing you're not even missing just a starter or an all-star. You're missing a superstar and an MVP. So like a team that's missing a starter or even an all-star, you have other guys step up because they get their opportunity, because they get usage. And I think usage is huge in the NBA, like which is undervalued, like especially if they're getting that usage and being efficient. That's
yeah.
huge because that's growth and confidence for the player. It sucks because they'll probably have to take a back seat, but like players like Peyton Watson, you mentioned, he's been incredible. Like he's taken that leap, and I think again the blessing in disguise right now is I think he's getting more opportunity, more usage. He's shooting 10 shots per game this season, most in his career. Last season, he was shooting 6 field goal attempts, playing 24 minutes per game. Now his minutes are up to 30 at this point. He went from 8 points to 14 this season, and he's an amazing two-way player, one of their best wing defenders, averaging a block and a steal. But the huge thing though is like he was raw offensively. He's still only 23, but in year 4 now, with Jokic gone right now, he's getting the ball more in his hands. He reminds me kind of like a Jeremy Grant type of player. Like I think that could be like a good comp for him, and
Yeah,
because
it's a
he's
great
super
comp there.
athletic, he's shooting 42% from three, dude. like it's not like he was a bad shooter ever. He's averaging 36% in his 4-year career, but like he was shooting like not even an attempt his rookie year, 2 the last few years, and then now he's shooting 3.5 threes. Like, and he's shooting 3.5 attempts at 42% is elite 3 and D two-way player, right? Like he is in that category of like top 10 two-way like type of players, getting into that Jaden McDaniels type of category. And if you could do that and become like a Jaden McDaniels for them, like how are they going to lose? Like, I mean, like especially the way the Thunder have been playing
Yeah,
lately. Not saying they're exposed or anything like that, but shout out to Peyton Watson. We play basketball. Well, Brandon's only played once at the University of San Francisco, but I haven't played in a while there. Neither has Brendan. But Peyton Watson's uncle's there. I talk to him about Peyton Watson and the Nuggets all the time, so I have to hype up the Nuggets for him. So shout out
yes,
to.
sir.
Ironically, his uncle's name is Bam, and he knows I'm a Miami Heat fan. So Peyton Watson's uncle's name is Bam, and she's been talking and hyping up Peyton Watson. He said he needs opportunity, and I haven't seen him in a few months. I can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah.
When I go play next to talk and see how excited he is, about him finally getting the spotlight. So I think that's the biggest thing. And players like Christian Braun, guys who are NBA champions, Bruce Brown, like those guys are just great fundamental role players that know their roles.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you lose a player like Jokic, I don't know. I would expect their offensive rating to really significantly fall, just because everything Jokic does for that team, everything runs through him. And they're still a top 15 offense. They're 13th in these last 14 games without him. And again, we've given Peyton Watson a ton of credit, as we should be giving him, making the most of his opportunity. But again, to go back to Jamal Murray, he's played 10 games out of these 14 that Jokic has been out for, and he's averaging 28, 8 assists a game, shooting 42% from three at an extremely high volume. So Jamal, again, showing, he could potentially take the reins as a number one option and at least hold the fort steady as you wait for the best player in the world to get back onto your roster. But I'm excited for these playoffs. I'm almost like, let's just get to the Western Conference Finals and let's get to the Thunder and Nuggets now. The Spurs are going to have something to say about it. The Rockets are going to have something to say about it.
Exactly.
But I'm itching to see the Thunder and Nuggets get a rematch again here in these playoffs. But
we'll see what happens.
Amen.
Awesome. Well, thanks for hopping on, Brendan. Appreciate the time. If you guys do enjoy the content, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.